Holy cow! Welcome to Donnie's Hanging On Adventures and Piglet. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on an outdoor video. Well, what? Yeah, it won't be quite as exciting last year when I was in Des Moines. I did so much last year. I was in Des Moines. I wish I could have did more in Des Moines, but you know, it is what it is. And here in the boring town of Ottumwa, there isn't a lot you can do to film. You can sort of be creative with the process, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do, is sort of be creative. As creative as I possibly can be. I have to think more outside the box. But, yeah, you could say that. You could say that. Sometimes you sort of reach for stuff, literally and figuratively. About walking around the remnants of an old cell phone. Well, it's been there for a while, and it looks like somebody really excessively destroyed it. You could even see on the back, hang on a minute, the chips. It looks like somebody was, well, it's made in China. Can I get COVID from it? Anyway. Yeah, made by Samsung, the same brand my phone is. Well, that's very unfortunate that somebody had to literally destroy a phone. They literally and figuratively just destroyed the shit out of this phone. Well, let's see. What's behind this? Well, what's behind this? Well, across the street is Seton Catholic School. And right here is, well, the old City Hall. And this building here is the City Hall. It's been on the registry, for buildings that are considered, historical since 1976. It's funny, it's the year I was born. What? Yeah, down here is what remains of a sidewalk, what remains of this. It used to be you would walk down there, but they completely did away with that. It's completely gone, as you can see by now. I didn't notice this before, that they had removed it. When did they remove it, and why did they remove it? Who knows? Who knows? I do have other memories of this place, and I'll get into that in a couple minutes. Yeah, it's a tad windy out here, but it's in the 60s, so, it's a really nice day, even though the wind is playing a little bit of havoc. Now, as I was going to say about the City Hall here, I don't know what they really use the City Hall for, because it's pretty much an empty building now. I mean, they're not going to tear it down because it's on the landmarks for, buildings, so they're not going to tear it down. But I remember when I was a kid that it was used for the police station. For many years it was used for the police station. Because I remember there was cop cars that would sit here. Sometimes they would sit out front, but sometimes they would sit right in here where they were. And in there was the jail, right in there. You can sort of see the remnants of the old jail here. And up there you can see one of the old doorways that's rusted away. Look at the old fire escape. But I do remember that in there, and they had like an intercom right there on the side of the door where they could buzz you in. Everybody knows now what a jail was, but this was one of the jail cells that they had for many, many, many years. I remember that when I was a kid. And they had it here and in another location. I'll show you another location where it was. Well, now the Ottumwa Courthouse. What? Yeah, I know it's a house behind me. What? Yeah, this is one that's also on the registry. It's one of the oldest buildings here in Ottumwa. It was built in 1894. It's really, really old. And of course, it's on the registry, like the City Hall is. And you stand and look at this building, it looks sort of creepy. It really does. And there's stories that have surfaced for quite a few years. The tunnels that they have here, they used to have tunnels that would go from the City Hall. I don't know if this is true, but it's what I've heard. From the City Hall to this jail over here, which I'll get to in a minute, that it's haunted. I have here's City Hall. Yeah, and on the front of it is Chief Wapello, but you can't see it from this angle, but in front of it is Chief Wapello on top of the building, and you can sort of see, looks sort of creepy, and that there used to go from to, well, the jail here. And you know, if you look at this, you can see some of the jail bars are not there. They've been boarded over with, well, creepy looking aluminum. And there's a door up there to nowhere. And they don't use that building anymore. As far as I know, they do not use the old jail building. This jail building is actually where, well, you remember back in the 90s, Michael Kaufman, well, that's where he was actually at until he went off to prison. Now he's on probation. Nonetheless, that's a different story and a different day. But yeah, I'm not going to, no need to get into that. But I will show you a little bit more of this. I have to go up to the alley, and you can see it in the background a little bit. And there it is. There it is. You can see it in the background a little bit. I'll show you something in the alley that's quite interesting. I noticed this, oh, on the colder days, and I couldn't film. But anyway, nonetheless, just up from that parking lot I was at, up here to the alley. Hey, I was down there. Now I'm up here. In fact, there's an old church, and this sign here is funny. Supposed to say no left turn. Okay, I'm confused. But nonetheless, here's the remnants of the old jail. And, well, you can see that, you can really see it up close here even more. And it looks sort of creepy. It almost looks to be haunted. And it probably is. It probably is. And this is funny. It says exit only, do not enter. And there's the old intercom to buzz the police, you know, to get their attention. I'm sure that doesn't work, and they took out the wiring, and there's more in the bars that they haven't covered up. See, here they've covered them up, but up there they haven't. So, you know, it looks sort of, well, really creepy. Looks really, really creepy. And, well, I bet those air conditioners don't work anymore. Nonetheless, sort of creepy. Really, really, it looks haunted, actually. And on the front of this building, it says it right on it. County Jail, 1911. So pretty much used right after the Western days. Or right around that time. No, I think it was after the Western days. You know, unlike Red Dead, the time frames are different. Or different Red Dead than in real life. It was after the Western days. Well, there's that rampway that went to the jail right there. That walkway, not rampway. And you can pretty much see it from here too. The old jail. Really old jail. It's really creepy. You can't get down there even from here because they have completely boarded this off here. So you can't, I think there used to be steps going down, but they've taken those out completely. You can see it over there by that, whatever that shed thing is for over there. But to me, this looks really, really haunted. Really, it does. Not the most exciting things to look at, but hey, you can look at the town's history. Why not? And to get a good view from the Chief Wapello on top of, I said earlier, I called it the City Hall. I meant to call it the courthouse. That's the City Hall back there, and that's the courthouse. I get it. I get stuff backwards sometimes. What? Oh, I'm rambling? You're right. And there's Chief Wapello at the top of the courthouse, you know, watching the whole town, watching over the whole town to make sure nothing goes wrong. And you know what I wondered? Okay, there it says Wapello County Courthouse right there on the side. Is the architecture of this is so it looks so weird that if you look at it, it looks like a king's castle over there almost. You know, I wonder if they got the inspiration from that, because it sort of looks like that. You can even see an old attic up there. I've heard stories about that, and that's why they kept older records. I don't know. But, you know, I hate, you know, that this architect is just very, very weird looking at it. If you look at it, it's like they don't make buildings like this anymore. I mean, you even look at across the street on, think of St. Mary's Catholic Church, you know, they don't make architect like this anymore. It's, you know, it's a bygone era, early 1900s. And then, of course, the eagle. The eagle. Now, they changed the color of the eagle. It's sort of a shit brown now. Me, I liked it when it was gold. That's just me. I don't like the shit brown of the eagle, but I like the gold. The gold was absolutely gorgeous. The shit brown, not so much. It's down here where the Amtrak station used to be. I don't even know if you can still buy a ticket inside the Amtrak. For some reason, the Amtrak still stops here in Ottumwa. Don't ask. I don't even get why. Hardly anybody rides the Amtrak here in Ottumwa anymore. Hardly anybody gets off. So, but what? Piglet, I know I'm rambling again. I tend to have a habit of this, and maybe I should stop. Okay, moving on. So I decided, seeing a couple people inside, thought, well, I haven't seen this building open in a couple or 3 years. Been a while. So I decided to open the doors. And they're open. Sort of. I said sort of. Sort of. The museum, the historical museum that used to be here, well, it's permanently closed. This was pre-COVID that they did this. Pre-COVID they did this. It's not working right now. That's beautiful when it works. I don't know if it does work anymore. It was about a year or two ago. So anyway, and I don't, where was I? Piglet. Oh yes, the historical museum part of this has been closed for, I don't know, pre-COVID even, so it's been closed for a while. They don't even have bathrooms in there anymore, if you can believe that. So I asked the woman, I says, do you mind if I film in here? She says, oh no, no filming. There's nothing in there. What is there to film anyway? But I thought I would try to film, and she's like, no filming in here. I'm like, okay. That was a rule when they had the historical museum in here. It had to do with trains, stuff like that. But that hasn't been here for a while because this building is up for sale. My question is this. Whoever buys this building, do they get to keep the train? Yes. Do they get to keep this train that's almost historical? It doesn't go anywhere, as you can see, just train tracks there to put the train up on. But do they get to keep this train that I've always wanted to go on, just to be able to say I got into the thing? And one other question while I'm moving on, do they get to keep that stupid clock up there that hasn't worked in over a decade? Just curious, because this building's been up for sale, and it seems like nobody wants it. When you have a historical museum inside here, you could repair and remodel it. But nonetheless, this is classic Ottumwa for you. It's just sitting there. And I've noticed it for a while. Now over there is where you used to catch the buses, and now they're like downtown, which doesn't even make sense where they're at. But nonetheless, I just like to know what the hell they're going to do with this building. It's sitting empty, nobody catches the train, you can't visit the historical museum, and there's no bathroom to take a shit. But nonetheless, curious. Sometimes you see a sign or something on the ground, they'll even put it down there, and they only put it there because somebody has actually tried it. That's the only reason they would do it. Okay, you're wondering, what? You're gonna see. You will see. Okay, there's a crate. Goes down to the sewer. Okay. Danger. No shit. What does it say, Piglet? Confined space. Do not enter. No shit, Sherlock. Unless you have a delusion of grandeur and you think you're a teenage mutant ninja turtle, of course you're not gonna. That means somebody actually tried at some point. Somebody. What were they thinking?